right. So I'm just doing a short reading from BKS Iyengar's book called The Tree of Yoga, which he published in 1988. So it has a lovely metaphor of the tree throughout this book. And at the very beginning, he talks a little bit about meditation that I thought I would share with you to help us go into a 3-minute silent meditation. Integration is meditation, and meditation is integration. When this uninterrupted awareness of integration of body, mind, and soul is retained, then time does not know past and future. Time is eternal. And as eternity is here in time, you and I become eternal. That is integration. And in that state, no differences can come between us. I hope that if not today, then one day we may reach this point of culmination. Consider the sky. The sky is finite as well as infinite. None can touch it, and yet we are in contact with it at every moment of our lives. Similarly, you and I have to use finite means, body, mind, intelligence, and consciousness to reach the infinite seat of the soul, which is the mother of all things. In this way, we remain ever fresh, ever peaceful, and with ever growing intelligence. God bless you all. So seated firmly, let your breath wash through you, and Jayne will help us with 3 minutes timed in this grounded, extended meditation of breath and body and heart.
Thank you, Sheila. That was the 3-minute chime at the end of the meditation. I'm not sure if you heard it. Yeah. Okay, so with that calm start to the class, I'd like us all to take Adho Mukha Virasana to begin. So pose of a child, and I'm going to mention the props that you'll need for today, although I imagine you have them all around you. You'll need a chair or something similar, bricks, a bolster if you have, otherwise a pile of blankets, and a belt, and I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything. So we'll begin in Adho Mukha Virasana, and not necessarily on a bolster this time, just sitting back on the heels, stretching by walking the hands forward, lengthening through the arms, lengthening through the back body, lengthening through the front body. And we're going to rest down the elbows, rest the arms, in keeping with the instruction we've had from Abhijata, BKS Iyengar's granddaughter. She has been teaching workshops in the US. She's going to be teaching a workshop shortly via Zoom for Canadian members of the Iyengar Yoga Association. And her recommendation is that we put our effort at 80% at the moment during the pandemic. So she's not asking us to work hard at 100%, but just to pull back a little bit, to make allowances for the, I think, the additional stresses and strains of life during this period. But what she has asked us to do is 100% observation. 100% observation. So as you sit back on your heels and stretch out through the front body and the back body, one of the areas to observe is the upper back. Much of the lungs are actually in the back more than the front. So this pose enables us to create space in the back. So be aware of your breath in the pose. And the first 3 poses that we're going to do are also on Guruji's recommendations for immune boosting. So Adho Mukha Virasana is one, child's pose, and then we're moving into Uttanasana next. So walk your hands back until you are in a kneeling position. Take a breath in your kneeling position, and then we're moving to Uttanasana, so forward bend, stretching the back of the legs. So you're going to have your feet as wide as your mat. If you need support for the hands, take your bricks underneath your hands. If you can reach the hands onto the floor, press them fingertips into the floor beside the feet so that the shoulders are broad. The upper back is broad and expansive. And we'll be here for a minute as you release the head down, release the neck down. And start opening the backs of the knees, opening the backs of the thighs. And an area that we mentioned last week, which was the soles of the feet, in particular on the sole of the foot, lengthening the big toe mound right up to the end of the toe, lengthen that area of the toe, the metatarsal. So the skin on the feet is lengthening, stretching to help you create balance and bring the weight more onto the ball of the foot instead of the heel, as is more common. So from here, walk forward, bring your hands into a wide downward facing dog and your feet hip width apart. And when you feel you found your downward facing dog, then walk the feet back a little. I want us to get used to a longer stride, more distance between the hands and the feet. So periodically, I'm going to come out of the pose and give you some instructions. And this was a pose that we spent a long time in with the teacher that I worked with in Rishikesh in India. It was a workshop that lasted 12 days. And at the very beginning of the workshop, she lengthened everybody's stride by about 6 inches. So take a break, everybody, come back to Adho Mukha Virasana, come back to pose of the child for a moment, rest the head down. I'm going to give you some pointers and we'll go back to it. So one of the guidelines she gave us is that people are usually very concerned about getting their heels on the floor. This is not the point. The point is to open the backs of the thighs, to extend the spine, and to create space in the pose. So the idea of opening the backs of the thighs and the knees and the calf muscles is to put more weight on the legs to release some of the pressure on the hands, the wrists, and the shoulders. And I think a lot of people find it onerous for the arms. So let's try one more time. Come into your downward dog slowly, Adho Mukha Svanasana, lifting up the hips. Be slow to straighten the legs. You can lift the sitting bones up, sharpen the sitting bones, lift them up high. Make sure you've got that extra length, extra distance between the hands and the feet. Walk the feet back a bit, and then release the head down. Think of the chest moving in towards the thighs. So you're tightening that triangle. The two sides of the triangle are coming in closer towards each other. And here's another instruction to think of in the pose, which is open the armpits. Open the armpits and press them forward. And as you do that, you get a connection with the shoulder blades. The shoulder blades, as a result of that, move deeper into the upper back. So one more minute, a couple more breaths. Think of lifting the hips high, lifting the back of the ribs, the back vertebrae high, up towards the sky. There's a tendency for us to dip the lower back, so this is an instruction that helps to lift them up. And then walk the hands and the feet together until you are in Uttanasana. Place the hands on the hips and slowly come up. Take your chair and place it on the end of your mat. You can have both legs, all legs of the chair on the mat so that it won't slip. And we're going to take Uttanasana one more time so that we get some more length in the body. So have the chair about 2 feet in front of you. Have the feet wide apart. Reach the hands onto the seat of the chair, spread the palms, lengthen through the arms, and start creating space so the armpits, again, can move down towards the floor. The soft creases of the elbows can face each other. Stretch out the skin underneath the big toe, lengthen the toe. With the hands on the chair, you're stretching the arms and lengthening the whole of the front body. And this is going to help us with several of the poses that we're going on to today. And then walk the hands back, hands on the hips and come up. Move your chair off your mat. And we'll take downward dog one more time with a variation this time. We're going to raise one leg at a time. So there'll be 3 of your limbs on the floor, 2 hands and 1 leg at the same time. So it will look like this. We'll begin in all fours, bend the knees, come up into your pose. Again, lengthening the distance between the arms and the legs, hands and the feet. Bring the feet together for balance and then raise the right leg. It doesn't have to be very high, but you want the pelvis to be even. So as you raise the right leg and press the heel away from you, the pelvis is even as you roll the right front thigh towards the other thigh. So the right front thigh rolls inward. You keep lifting the back of the thigh, the right leg, lift it up, and release the chest down. And then replace that leg, take a breath or 2 in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Strong in the arms, spread the palms. Lift up the hips one more time and then raise the left leg. So do your best to drop the heel of the right foot down towards your mat. Get an evenness over the pelvis. And if you need to take a break at any point, you have permission to come down and take care of yourself. So with the leg that's raised, the left leg, press the heel away from you, lift up the back of the thigh, release the head down. Lift up the shoulders, lift them away from the arms so that there's length in the arms too. And then replace the leg so that you're in Adho Mukha Svanasana one more time. Then walk the hands and the feet towards each other, catch the elbows and release forward into resting Uttanasana. So feet are apart, resting Uttanasana. And then press the hands into the thighs and come up. Then take your chair, bring your chair back to your mat. We're going to take Parsvottanasana. Parsvottanasana. Stand approximately 3 feet back from the chair and get ready to step the right foot forward. And as you step the right foot forward, you can separate that leg slightly to the right for additional balance and also to help you square your hips. So with the hands on the hips, now your right leg is forward, your left leg is back. The hands are on the hips, you're lifting the chest. Roll the chest back, lift the armpit, chest up. Take a breath in, and as you exhale forward, bring your hands down towards your chair. So now we're in Parsvottanasana, using the seat of the chair instead of having the hands on a brick or on the floor. So lengthen the whole of the front body. Use the legs to stabilize your pose. You may even be able to reach your head towards the seat of the chair. And again, you're looking for that evenness over the hips, the sacrum, imagining that something very precious was balancing on that area. And then to exit the pose, press down the feet, take a breath in, put the hands on the hips and come up. All right, in Tadasana for a breath. And now left foot forward, hands on the hips. Secure your balance, press the back foot down and roll the heel out. Toe in, heel out. Lift up the front chest by rolling the shoulders back, point the elbows back. Take a breath in, open the throat, roll the head back, and exhale forward as you press down the feet to secure your balance. And then reach forward with the arms, adjust your chair if you need to, and have the head in a neutral position. So the head may be resting on the chair, may not, it may be looking slightly forward. So you can look forward towards the seat of the chair. And this Parsvottanasana is one of a series of poses where the front thighs roll towards each other and you want an evenness about the pelvis. So in this case, the hip crease of the right leg is moving back, the left leg is moving forward. And then ground the feet in preparation for coming up. Hands on the hips and come up. Turn the chair to face away from you. So the back of the chair is now facing you. And we're going to take Virabhadrasana 1, moving into Virabhadrasana 3. So this is Warrior 1 to 3. And this is where we get to balance on one leg as we are stretching the arms forward to reach the chair. So have the chair a little bit off the mat so that it will slide, hopefully. Or if you're using something else, if you're using a desk or a stool, you might need to have it slide away from you. So turn to face your chair. Have your hands on the hips. And take a wide stride forward with the right leg, left leg way back. A wider stride than we had for Paschimottanasana. Hands on the hips, separate the right leg towards the right side of your mat for more balance and also to get more evenness in the hips. Take a breath in and stretch the arms up. So now we're in preparation for Virabhadrasana 1. Reach the arms up until they come back towards the ears. Take a breath in, come down to a right angle with that right knee. So we're almost doing a back bend. Reach up with the arms, come down with the knee. We're in Virabhadrasana 1. And now we're in a smooth movement. Reach forward, catch your chair, and then swivel your weight onto the right foot as you press the hands into the back of the chair. Reach back with your left leg, which is now stretched out behind you, parallel to the back body. So here you've got to work towards that evenness in the pelvis one more time. So the classic pose is balancing on one leg with nothing to rest the hands on. So rest them very lightly. Imagine that you are not using the chair. Lift up the kneecaps, open the back of the thighs, and rotate the front thighs towards each other. Then in preparation for coming out, bend the front knee, reach way back with the left leg, and come back into Virabhadrasana 1. Arms behind the head, behind the ears, and then release the arms down and step forward. Take a breath in Tadasana. And now left leg. So step the left leg forward, way forward, and be in Virabhadrasana 1 preparation again. So hands on the hips. You can separate the left leg to the side. Remember, we're working at 80% of our effort and ability, but 100% of observation. So keep sharpening your skills of observation, even though you may be pulling back a little with the effort. So are you able to stretch the skin on the soles of the feet? Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, come down to a right angle as you swing the arms up. Virabhadrasana 1. Turn the back foot any amount to open the hips. So we're in Virabhadrasana 1 right now, and we're just about to transition to 3. So stretch your arms over the left knee, reach forward, catch the back of your chair, and then smoothly transition into Virabhadrasana 3. So now you're standing on the left leg, the right leg is reaching out behind you, and there's an evenness about the pelvis. And you can do this by rolling the thighs towards each other, the front thighs towards each other, pressing the right leg way back. So the heel of the right leg is reaching way back towards the wall behind you. Lengthen through the front body and keep the arms very light on your chair. And then in preparation to come out, bend the front knee, push off gently from your chair, take a wide stride back, and come into Virabhadrasana 1. Reaching up, finishing the pose properly with the arms coming back towards the temples. And then hands on the hips. And let's turn towards the front as we exit from this pose. Turn towards the front, heel and toe to come in. And step together into Tadasana. Take a breath. As you find your balance, see if you can close your eyes in Tadasana for a few breaths. Challenge the brain to be quiet. And then open the eyes. So next we're going to do a series of poses which are supine. So you'll be lying on your back. I may not be able to see you so well, or you may not be able to see me, but hopefully we can still keep in touch. You're going to be lying on your back with your belt close at hand. So when you come down and lie on your back, have your knees bent. So this is an opportunity to press down into the mat with the upper part of the buttock area. So the buttock's divided into three parts, the upper, the middle, and the lower. Think of the upper buttock, so just below the waist, reaching the mat first, then the remainder of the buttock area. So as you do that, it's another way of saying, take the buttock flesh down to the heels. So it may be a better explanation for you. And then bring the strap around the arms, just below the elbows, just below the elbows, between the elbows and the wrists. Take a breath in, stretch the arms behind you, and then one by one, stretch the legs out, press the heels away from you. So as you are lying supine on the floor, this is supine Tadasana. So walk the heels away from you, wrap the front thighs towards each other. The palms are facing each other, and the arms are pressing into the straps to get more extension in the arms and in the whole of the upper body. So this is a preparation for some of the next poses coming up in the series. Think of compacting the hips as you wrap the front thighs towards each other and lengthen the inner leg right down to the inner heel, the inner ankle. And then we're going to do some abdominal work with the legs. So keep the arms pressed into the strap and bring both knees up to a bent knee position, feet on the floor. Take a breath in and stretch the legs up towards the sky. So the legs are now vertical and you're creating a 90-degree angle between the legs and your torso. So release the back waist into the mat. Release the back waist into the mat and lift the heels up towards the sky. So heels are active, back of the legs are active. And we're going to do 5 leg raises or leg releases down towards the mat. If you need to bend your knees, you can do it that way. If you're okay with straight legs, let's go. So take a breath in, and then to the count of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slowly bring them down towards the floor. Take a breath in and then release, bring them up towards the center. So now the legs are at the top, and we're going to do count of 5 to release down. So take a breath in and release down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a breath in and come up to the top slowly. That's 2. Again, take a breath in and release down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And slowly up to the top. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Up to the top. Remember to keep the lower back, the back waist released down towards the mat. Last one. Release the legs down to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring them up to the top. Release the arms from your strap. Bend the knees and take the arms around your shins as you bring the knees down towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the shins. So easing the lower back. And then we're going to turn over to a supine position, so lying on your front for the next 3 or 4 poses. So lie on your front, have your elbows underneath your shoulders and your forearms extended out in front of you. Elbows below the shoulders, forearms stretched out in front of you. It's often called a sphinx position. So the legs are together, big toe mounds, scrubbing together, front thighs rolled in towards each other. And simply from here, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, be broad in the collarbones. This is a preparation pose. So you're lifting up the sternum bone, rolling the shoulders back. The head is in a neutral position, simply facing forward. Now we're going to take Bhujangasana. So bring the chest down towards the floor, reposition the hands just in front of the shoulders, roll the front thighs in towards each other. They might have separated. Rest the forehead. Take a breath in. And as you spread the palms, press the hands into the mat. Slowly peel the upper body off the mat. Your elbows can be bent. They probably will be bent. And the shoulders roll back. So lift the front chest. Broaden the collarbones. Keep lifting. The pubis is still on the mat. The thighs are on the mat. Just the front body is lifting up. And then slowly release down, rest the forehead, and we'll do that one more time. So tuck the elbows in close to the body, wrap the front thighs towards each other, take a breath in, press down the hands and slowly take the body off the floor, lift it up and roll the shoulders back. Open the throat, you can roll the head back even. And then release the head to look forward, slowly release the front body down, rest the forehead, and then stretch the arms out either side of the body. Take a few breaths. Next, we're going to take Salabhasana. So with the arms stretched out besides the body, palms facing towards each other, and legs firmly gripped together, rest the head on the floor, then take a breath in, and on an exhalation, lift the arms, lift the legs. Roll the shoulders back, stretch the palms, lift the wrists, lift the ankles, but keep breathing softly. Sometimes you can sing a song or recite a poem just to keep the breath flowing. So there's no tension in the throat, soft eyes, soft face, and then slowly release down. Rest the forehead, and we'll do that one more time. So lift up one leg at a time, wrap the front thighs towards each other, big toe mounds touching. Think of Salabhasana being a locust with the legs together. And then take a breath in, lift the front chest, lift the legs. Palms are still facing each other, but the shoulders are rolled back. The sternum is lifted, legs are lifted. All that's left on the mat is the abdomen. So keep opening up, gripping the gluteal muscles so that you've got a firmness in the buttocks. And then slowly release down, rest the forehead, or if you prefer, take the head to one side, and then after a couple of breaths, take it to the other side. And then Dhanurasana, this is the bow. Dhanurasana, the bow. So with the forehead rested, bend the knees, catch the ankles, right hand on right ankle, left hand on left ankle. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, lift the arms, lift the legs. So again, just the abdomen is on the mat. Bring the thighs closer together if you can. Roll the shoulders back. This is a back bend. Be gentle with your back. Lift the thighs, lift the ankles. Roll the shoulders back, lift the wrists. Look ahead. Keep the face soft, keep the eyes soft. And then slowly release the legs down. Release the arms. Take a break. We'll do that one more time. After a few breaths. All right, head in the center. Lift up the thighs and roll them in towards each other. Catch the ankles with your hands. You can always use a strap if you find the ankles are just a little bit too far away. Take a breath in and lift the chest, lift the legs. Bring them off the mat so you just have the abdomen resting on the mat. Look forward, roll the thighs in towards each other. Keep lifting the wrists, lifting the ankles. And then release down. Arms and legs down. Take your head to one side for a few breaths. And then to the other side. And to release any tension in the back, lift up the hips, sit back on your heels and come into Adho Mukha Virasana, so pose of a child for a few breaths. So with your 100% powers of observation, see if there are any parts of the body that need to be released after that, maybe the upper back, maybe the lower back. Lengthen the spine, release the chest down into the mat. And then walk the hands back until you are in a kneeling position. Okay, so now we're going to take Shirsasana, headstand, and it can be the version of your choice. So you may want to set up a freestanding headstand with your props. You may prefer to be against the wall, or you may want an alternative. So if anybody wants an alternative, you could simply take an extended downward dog, a downward dog for a minute or two, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And if you're going to take headstand, we'll do a couple of variations. So prepare your props. Make sure you've got lots of space. We're going to do the two variations, Ekapada and Pasva Ekapada. So that's one leg down, followed by the other leg down, and then one leg to the side and down, followed by the same with the other side. All right, so you need to keep that core strength. Keep the abdomen engaged as you take the legs down. And they don't have to go, of course, all the way down. Just do what's within your practice at the moment. And if you're against the wall, you can still do these variations. So I'll give everyone a minute to get set up, and then I'll time it for 3 minutes. And if you wish to stay up that long, that's great. And if you come down before, just take pose of a child. All right, so place the hands on your mat and go up into your pose. And as you get into the pose and you get settled, I'll give you some pointers to help with your observation. So starting at the base of your pose, make sure that your foundation is strong and firm. So your shoulders are in line with your elbows. Your hands are clasped behind the head. Remember to alternate the clasp each time you do your headstand. And then think of opening the armpits. As you open the armpits, as we did in downward dog and also in Uttanasana, you get the shoulder blades moving deeply into the upper back. And then I want you to focus on the middle buttock. We talked about the buttocks having an upper, a middle, and a lower. The middle buttock needs to go in to help establish your vertical pose. So take the middle buttock in, take the thighs back, open the armpits, to take the shoulder blades deeper into the upper back. And then in your own time, take your variations. So I'm beginning with my Ekapada at this stage, beginning with the right leg. And then up and left leg. This is my timing, so work with your own timing. Left leg up. Pasva Ekapada. So taking the right leg out to the side and down. And up. So we've reached the 3 minutes, but if you're still doing your variations, finish off. And come to pose of a child. And then come up from your resting place, resting position after the headstand. And we're going to take Dvipada Viparita Dandasana. So we're going to do a chest opener over your chair. If anybody doesn't have a chair, I think probably everybody does, but if you don't have a chair, then take a brick and you can do an extension over a brick. So I'll demonstrate that just in case there's a, I think Barb, you have a chair, and Sheila, you have a chair, yes? No, no chair, Sheila, all right. So then I'll,
My chair doesn't work with my legs through it.
Okay. So you can take a brick underneath the sacrum and do an extension in that way.
Yes.
So I'll demonstrate that, but I think you know what I mean. Right?
Yeah, and my shoulders are on the floor, right?
Right, Setubandha, yes.
Setubandha, yeah. Okay, I can do that.
If you have two bricks, you can have one by the wall and one under your sacrum. Okay, we've done that before. All right, so this is what we'll do with the chairs. You're going to take a sticky mat on your chair for support for the back. The chair can be in the center of your mat. If you like extra support, you could take a blanket onto the chair, but it's not essential. Have a brick for underneath your feet. You may need that because it will just make the back bend a little more gentle. So you've got a brick, a chair, and some support on the chair. Take your legs through the back of the chair. And then move your sitting bones towards the back seat of the chair. So you're moving quite a long way through. Your feet are still on the floor. You're holding onto the side of the chair. And then take yourself back. So now you're lying over the seat of the chair. Swing the arms under the chair and catch the back legs or the back rung. And by now, your shoulder blades will be just digging into the edge of your seat of your chair. So at this point, you can stretch the legs out and rest them on your brick. If your neck will support it, you can release the head back. Into a back bend. So walk the heels away from you. Roll the front thighs in towards each other. And with your observation, see if you can get the shoulder blades moving in towards the back as they dig into the edge of the chair. And if you've got a yoga chair, you might be able to put your arms underneath the chair and through the chair to catch the back legs or the back rung. And if not, you can keep them on the outside. And Sheila, I think you're probably good with what you're doing, but as a demonstration of the two bricks. You can have one at the wall. One under the sacrum. And you can come to the higher level of the brick. So this is Setubandha lying over 2 bricks. The higher brick under the sacrum, the lower brick under the feet. Shoulders resting on the mat. That would be an alternative. Come down, take the feet down, lift the hips once or twice before releasing down to the floor. And those of you that are in the back extension over the chair, in preparation for coming out, bring your hands up to the sides of the chair, hold on to the arms of the chair, place the feet on the floor, bend the knees, and then in one smooth movement, come to sitting and sit well onto the seat of the chair. And then as you sit tall, gather the front navel towards the back navel and take a twist to the right and a twist to the left. So Sheila, as you are doing on the floor, you can do your twist on the floor. Those of you seated on the chair can do a twist to the left, not too long, not too deep, just to neutralize the back bends. So once each side and then once more each side. So 2 twists. And then carefully come out of your chair when you're ready. And we're moving into shoulder stand, Salamba Savangasana. Now, again, there are different ways of doing this depending on your props. The classic Savangasana is with support under the shoulders and your head resting lower than your shoulders. And so you may need 4 blankets, 5 blankets, foams if you have foams, a series of mats. Sometimes you can get enough height with a collection of mats and things that you have at home. If you have a chair and you would rather do chair Savangasana, that is an option as well. And for that, you would need your pile of blankets or a bolster. So it looks like, Barb, you're opting for chair Savangasana, which is fine. Yep. So you're going to sit astride the chair. That's right. You know the drill. So legs either side of the chair, Barb. That's it. And then remember, when you go down, you're going to bring the arms under the chair very quickly, catch the back legs or the back rung as you settle your shoulders onto the bolster. This is for Barb. Not through the chair, not through the chair. Sit your bottom closer to the back of the chair. So you're sitting like you are sitting astride the chair. You're doing fine with that. So sit back astride the chair and then move in closer, close as you can. That's right. And then as you slowly go back, bring the legs up onto the top. That's right. And bring the arms under as you support the shoulders on the bolster. Bring the arms right under the chair, catch the back legs. That's it. Good. And those of you in the classic pose, Danielle, you're already there. Great. And Sheila, you're on the way. And Susan, you probably are too. So we're also going to do some variations. We'll do Ekapada and Pasva Ekapada. And finish off in Halasana. So Barb, you've got some alternatives. You can do what you're doing now, resting the legs on the back. You can come to vertical. And in your own time, you can come to Baddha Konasana on the back of the chair. Yeah, those are your three versions, that's right. And so for those of you in shoulder stand, Salamba Sarvangasana, here are some points to observe. Make sure that the back of the neck is long, the chin is soft. Make sure you're on the very tops of your shoulders. You've got your shoulders tucked under. You're wrapping the front thighs towards each other. The tailbone is going in, thighs going back. So if you haven't already started, you can begin your variations. So that would be right leg down first, Ekapada. And so moving on to your left leg, and then in your own time, I can't see you all, so it's hard to know where you are. So then go into your Pasva Ekapada. So lateral side stretch with the leg, right leg and then left leg. That's right. You can try it from there, Barb, because the chair should be sufficiently anchored not to move whilst you're in the variations. And then when you have finished your variations, you can come into Halasana, so plow pose, bringing the legs over behind the head. So to begin with, support the back, lifting the hips up, lifting the sitting bones up, and walking the toes away from you. You can try clasping the hands behind the back with the arms outstretched. And then in preparation for coming down, support the back and bend the knees and slowly unfurl and release the shoulders back towards the lower level. And Barb, you can have, that's right, have the bolster right underneath the hips. Yeah, and legs rested on the chair. Good. So you can cross the legs, you can have the legs in Baddha Konasana, or you can have the legs straight. You've got options. And then in preparation for Shavasana, we're going to do one twist, a supine twist before we do that, but you can roll over to your side, move your props away except for everything you'll need for your Shavasana, your conscious relaxation pose. So make sure you're warm enough, make sure you've got something to support the head. If you have a bolster that you'd like either under your knees or on top of your thighs, keep that handy. Failing that, perhaps you have a pile of blankets, which you can place on your thighs or roll up under your knees. And then when you're ready, lie on your mat with your knees bent. And we'll take a supine twist so that we're neutralizing any of the back bends that we've done. All right, so stretching the arms out to the sides, parallel with your shoulders, bring the knees up onto the chest, bent knees, and keep the knees together and the ankles together throughout this. So take a breath in, and with knees and ankles together, bring the knees down towards the left elbow. So you have to move the right hip a little faster than the left to keep the knees parallel, but at the same time, your shoulders are pressed into the floor. So it's a deep twist between your right shoulder and your right hip. And then take a breath in, come up to the top. Resettle the hips if you have come out of your central position. Take a breath in and release the knees down to the right elbow. So keep them quite high. Gather the knees, gather the ankles together. Now your left hip has to move faster than your right to keep the knees parallel, and the shoulders are still resting on the mat. Then take a breath in, come up to the center, and we'll repeat one more time. Breath in, knees down to the left side. A very healthy abdominal twist. Take a breath in, come up to the center. Breath in, exhale to the right side. Breath in up to the top. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock or sway from side to side to massage the sacrum, the lower back. And then place the feet on the floor with the knees bent and do your preparation for Shavasana. So press the upper buttock just below the waist into the mat. Stretch the legs out one by one, release them to the sides. Roll the shoulders under, extend the arms. Have the back of the neck long, the throat soft. And close your eyes. So let the eyelids feel heavy. Let the tongue feel soft and released in the mouth, into the floor of the mouth. Release the inner ear. The skin on the forehead move down towards the eyebrows. Soften the throat, the chest. Release the shoulders down to the mat. Release any tension in the chest, in the arms, right down to the fingers. Let the palms softly curl towards the center. And take your attention to the abdomen. Release any tension in the abdomen, the hips. The thighs. Release the knees, the calves, the ankles, and the toes. And with your awareness in every part of the body, use your breath to create a feeling of space inside. Feel the breath coming in over the back of the throat, behind the ribs, down to the diaphragm, and then long, slow exhalations, releasing through the nostrils. Be aware of the healing, nurturing nature of breath. Then begin to take in some deeper breaths. Start to move your hands and your feet, your fingers and your toes. Bend the elbows, place the hands on the front body. Bend the knees, one by one. Roll onto your right side and stay there for a few breaths. Enjoy the slow process of coming out of Shavasana. And then press your left hand into the mat to come up. And find a sitting posture for the last few minutes. Bringing the hands together in front of the chest. Namaste. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. And feel free to unmute if you'd like to.
Thank you, Jayne.
Thanks, Danielle. Good to see you.
Thank you very much, Jayne. That worked out real well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your reading, Sheila.
I'm very grateful for your time. Thank you.
Well,
Thanks,
you're welcome.
Jayne. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Bob, it's good to see you, everybody. And
Good night.
I hope you could hear all right. Any feedback, send it along. And otherwise, I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Thank you so much. Good night.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.